Hey everybody, Wednesday morning. Oh, my other machine just went to sleep. Let's wake her up. Wake up, Gertrude! Wake up! Alright, here we go. Let me make sure that the volume is down. I can hear it. So it's not. It was in headphones. You guys probably couldn't hear it, but I could hear it. The whisper, the scratching, the always judging, always blaming. Anyway, we're going to make some art today. Do you remember last strip we made? Troll dressed up as a spider to try to put a little pizzazz into the bedroom play, and that actually came out about by a conversation that we had, Janelle and I forget, we were watching something on TV, and it was about, you know, adding the thrill of danger or you know, fear or something like that, to spice up the love life. And I'm like, do you want me to dress up like a spider? And she says, yeah, probably not, never. Don't do that if you want to have a girlfriend. So yeah, I had to make it into a strip. I read somewhere or heard somewhere, you know how those things, that if you're planning a first date, a really great idea for a first date is a scary movie or an amusement park or something that gets the adrenaline pumping and the excitement, kind of the, you know, whatever, I guess the adrenaline up, and that way they subconsciously categorize you with excitement, you know. So that was a trick. I don't know if it works or not. I met J Puff at a board game, so a board game convention. So she probably likens me to being bored. Oh, that's not true. It's never boring here. It's a laugh a minute in the old troll hole. All right, but as you can see, we've got the 3-panel template set up today. A public outcry, and it's going to be in regards to the last strip that I made, in which Troll dresses up like a spider, in some spider lingerie. And, you know, I think that graphic is very compelling, and if I colorized it, that it would make an awesome, like, t-shirt. I'm probably gonna do that, or, like, you know, stickers or something like that. We'll see. Janelle said that if I make one, she'll never come to a convention with me if I'm wearing it, but she says a lot of things. It's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission, right? We'll see if it happens. We'll see. We'll see. Pay attention at Gamehole Con, I guess, if that happens. All right. So anyway, today's strip is in reference to the last strip, in which J Puff finds a platform for her displeasure with the entire situation. So without further rambling from me, let's hope everything's going all right. It was the sucker was real slow in starting up this morning. I was worried something was wrong. And if you watch regularly, you know, I have 2 cameras up on top of my monitor, and it's anyone's guess, like, which camera's going to work anytime I open OBS. So today I'm looking at this camera. Hi. And last time it was this camera over here, just right to the left of yours. I don't know. I never know which one. I always have to do that, like put my hand up to it to see which camera's live, because they're only about 4 inches apart on top of the monitor. But anyway, the reason I have 2 cameras is that when I do my live stream of traditional art, like when I'm actually drawing with ink and pens and stuff like that, I have one of the cameras pointed down at the table, so that one's at my face and one's at the art from above. I haven't done that in a little while. I'm going to get right back into it. I don't know, I kind of fell out of the pattern of it after the big camping trip, and then having my foot hurt where I couldn't sit at a desk for, you know, longer than 20 minutes. But, you know, I don't have those excuses anymore. No, I just got to get back into the pattern of it. So it was cool, man. It was made me so prolific as far as producing art for the conventions and things. I don't have anything lined up until Gamehole Con, which is November 8th, but that will sneak up on me. I mean, I've got freelance stuff between that. I've got a lot of freelance stuff in between that, but it behooves me also to build up my stock of stuff to sell to people at the convention. Alright, so no more talking. Now with the arting. So this is going to be all about J Puff's dissatisfaction with my choice of lingerie. With Troll's choice of lingerie. Alright, so let's get this situated. Such a small space to work in sometimes here. Alright. Wipe the cat hair off the tablet. I think that's pretty common for artists. First step, wipe the cat hair off. Alright, so this is just going to be J Puff dissatisfied. So this is going to be pretty easy. Hopefully the loop gods are with us, and it appears so far. Knock on wood. Right, and we're just going to move her beautiful little body down a little bit. And when it comes to it, I won't draw that, you know, how that blue kind of goes over into the second panel. I like to draw the whole thing just in case I need to resize it or something. Then, you know, I've got her whole body. I might even do that once we yeah, let's do it right now. I was gonna say let's see here. I like to have her flying, so I don't want her too low. But she's gonna have some dialogue up here. All right, that's okay. And I don't need to blue line her facial expressions. That'll come later on the shading layer. I just looked at the wrong camera. See how it works. All right, let's hydrate. Just water this morning. Nothing exciting. Okay, and then I'm going to actually just steal. Oops. Steal the same one and put it in the second panel. Which, you know, once I draw the actual one, I'll steal that whole thing. But for now, it's just hold in place. But then we're going to have someone you guys might remember, Spider-Mare. I believe that I should have looked up Spider-Mare to see how I made him last time. He's got more hands. He needs to keep him going. All right, there you go. And he's got a sash, I believe. Big mandibles. Big eyes. All right. So, yeah, so he's popping in to give his 2 cents worth. And for those of you maybe that don't remember, because that was a long time ago that Spider-Man made his appearance, he did kind of the same thing. He had a strip in which he registered his public complaint against an arachnophobia strip that I made, and the cat ate him. But now he's back. He somehow survived. Because in the very next strip, for the pedantics amongst the fans out there, the very next strip after Winston eats Spider-Mare, is one about Winston throwing up. So there you go. See, I gave myself an out. Nobody knew it. It was a little Easter egg. So Spider-Mare's back, having been eaten and regurgitated by Winston. And then in the third panel is really going to be fun. Is going to be J-Puff in action mode, which we don't really get to see, so that's exciting. Nice. These are working out so far. That was a terrible line, but that bow was horrible. But our loops haven't filled in, knock on wood. Like they always do. She's got a flamethrower. Now I want those lines to be less. Come on. Well, we don't want tangents on the lines, basically. We want to give a nice. There you go. Give everybody their space. That's basically what it boils down to. And then the flames gonna be licking. And she'll just be saying, ah! I think that maybe the whole thing can, oops, shit. I think that maybe the whole thing can be coming down here. And then we switch back over to the blob brush. Okay, cool. I had thought just for this one panel, you know, I've got these the outlines of the panels on a layer that I never touch. That way they're above everything else, so that everything I do happens underneath the frame layer. I thought maybe for this single frame, this one time, that I might erase that part of the that part of the frame, and just, you know, and like have it like it's burning. We'll see. We'll see when we get there. We'll see how big of a pain in the ass it is, I guess, basically. All right, but that's good. That's the basis of it. And now we got to do the dialogue. I think I'm gonna be doing that from now on, right after the blue line. So her first panel will be like, you know, I'd just like to say that that was the most disgusting. The last strip was the most disgusting display I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, see, the camera turned off. Actually, in a really stupid pose for me. So let's see here. Please hold while I deal with technical difficulties. What's going on? Alright, now we got a different camera in the action. This is the benefit, I guess, of being my own production guy. Producer, that's what they're called. Whoa, things are falling apart here, kids. This is live television. You're getting it all right here. It's not. It's the same camera. Okay. Alright, so for some reason, the camera decided to stop working. I noticed that it didn't have a light on it. That'll work. You guys don't need to see my face really too much anyway. But it's always fucking something, man. Always something. Alright, so back to the drawing. Let's hop back over to the drawing. Control S, just save it. But she's going to be saying, you know, that I'm simply disgusted. God, come on, Jim. Alright. I told you we're running a little slow here. Alright, so we got the word balloon out there with 18-point type of Kevlar. Centered with no hyphenation. We got the caps locks on. And let's do it to it. So she says, I'm here to lodge my public fat fingering it. Okay, it's pretty straightforward. I'm here to, I would like to dismay instead of complaint. I'd like to lodge to publicly lodge my dismay. Express. Okay, I'm here to publicly express my dismay over that previous strip. It was vile, disgusting, and downright triggering. I want to check the line spacing. These guys seem like they're kind of close together. No, not really. I have 18/21. So I'll switch that over to 22-point lighting and just let it breathe a little bit. It was vile, disgusting, and downright triggering. And then Spider-Man is up here saying, "Here, here." It's a culture, not a costume. Okay, I don't like that it's being up on the top line by right after here, here, but there's not a lot of other choices here. Let's see here. If I force that and then pull this guy out, that's not bad. And then we can even make this here, here bigger. I feel like I have to sneeze, everybody, so excuse me, I apologize. Alright, so shift control, whoop, boop, boop. Alright, that's good. A little bit for Spider-Man up there. And then I'm going to have her come down just a little bit. Just to make room. And I've realized that I'm doing this dialogue on the blue line layer and not the balloon layer. So let's fix that. Hop back up here to balloons, and then I had cut them out, Control X, and I'm going to paste in place, Shift Control V, and it drops them right to where they were, but they're on the proper layer now. All right, and then JPuff is saying, I know, right? It's like he doesn't even fit. And that needs to be 18. And I'm going to put the N in th so that it's think, but evens out that paragraph a little bit better. Alright, and then of course she's just going to be saying, ah! And I should draw that in. So let's hop down to the blue line layer. Now that we've got our balloons in, save it real quick, because anything can happen, as we've all witnessed every single episode of Trolling Friends. Alright. And then hop down here to the blue line. I just spit. Oh, I'm having a day this morning, kids. Alright. And then she's just be saying, get some blue going here. Alright, that's fine. Alright. And yeah, that's good. And there's going to be a little crispy critter up here. How will he get out of this one? No one knows. Okay. So let's save that again. And then we're going to hop off of the blue line layer up to the ink layer. Change the pen to black. Do it to it. Not bad. It's a moment of truth here with these loops. Ah, that one's ugly. Do I keep the ugly loop? Yeah, let's do it. Do it again. It's better. Okay, that's good enough. Okay. And then, like I said, we're just going to take this same one, copy it, and paste it over to this side. Especially since the loops came out without the fill in them. That's a rare treat. And then, let's see here. I'm going to do spider mirror last because I need to change the brush size from 3. I'll change it down to a 1-point brush just to get all the little details on his body. Except for this black one, I can just... Alright, then her flamethrower. Let's put a little detail into it. When I was plotting this strip out, I was like, how can a cloud hold a flamethrower? But here it is. It's the magic of television. Stay very focused. There we go. We got it. There we go. I assume it's something like that. Alright. Good enough anyway. People know it's a flamethrower. Anyone that's been reading the comic. Yeah, exactly. For those of you guys that can't see the chat, Jonathan Allen says kind of like how Homestar Runner holds things even though he doesn't have any arms. The invisible anatomy. That's kind of, what we got going on here. I didn't want to like give her cloud arms, like puffy arms. I think it's just funnier that, it's just kind of stuck to her body. Man, I miss Homestar Runner. It's funny. I used to read that religiously. Although I saw that there's a Trogdor board game now, so he's still culturally relevant, or maybe trying to become culturally relevant again. That was a good strip, man. I liked it a lot. It was actually it was cartoons, wasn't it? It was Flash animation. All right, I think that does it for our purposes. And then let's save it real quick, as we always do. I'm going to change the brush down to 1 point so I can draw Spider-Man. So he's got little spats on these feet, I remember. I don't know if they're still making new ones, Jonathan. He asked if Homestar Runner's still around. I haven't checked, but yeah, the strong bad emails, the spemails, what does he call them? Were really great. All right, and And then Spider-Man has the sash, so we can't remember that. I can't forget that. I think it should go above his bottom leg, though. Like I said, they just came out, I think just for Gen Con release, with a Trogdor board game. So hopefully it means he's still making new ones. Trogdor the Burninator. There we go. Spider-Man is always very angry. As would you if you were a spokesperson for unoppressed peoples. Now, me personally, like when I lived alone, I would let all the spiders live in joy and harmony with me. But things are different now under the J-Puff regime. Although there's that funny scene in Seeking a Friend for the End of the World. It's not too much of a spoiler, so if you guys haven't seen it, the guy's real, they find out that a comet is going to hit Earth, and they've only got, a few days to live. And so the main character, the guy that played Michael Scott on The Office, I forget the actor's name, sees a little spider in his house, and he's like, "Oh man, I can't kill you. We're all going to be gone here in a real short while." So he lets the spider live, and then in the next in the next scene, he wakes up with a bunch of spider bites all over his face. Like the spider doesn't care, like the scorpion and the frog. My mom always talked about that one because she knew that I would always let the spiders live. She's like, "That's gonna be you," and sometimes it is. It's the cost of doing business with spiders. Why did my Illustrator just go away? Alright. There we go, we're back. So much randomness here. I accidentally grabbed the top of the drawing panel, and like where it's docked into the main Illustrator panel. And that made it invisible in the OBS feed for just a second there. So I apologize for that. Hey Rom, thanks for joining us, buddy. We're talking about Homestar Runner and spiders. So this strip is in retaliation to the one with the spider costume, and this is I'll stop it there so you can see J-Puff publicly expressing her dismay over the comic, and then Spider-Man pops down and says, "Here, here, it's a culture, not a costume." I know, right? It's like he doesn't even think. And then, she's murdering poor, innocent Spider-Man. I think what I want to do in that last frame is make like his little thread kind of be a dashed line, like it's getting obliterated too. And then as long as we're doing this, let's save that real quick. Jump up here to the frame layer, and I wonder if I can erase. Let's find out. No, it looks like it's flipping me off, doesn't it? All right. There are other ways to go about this. So let's see here. I'm going to, just for this one, make a frame above the frames layer, and then I can switch. Basically what I can do is just make a shape with white for the fill. Let's zoom in here. So what I'm doing now is like the frame layer is always above everything, so that any of the art appears within the frames. So even when I draw kind of like over it, oh, that's not going to work either, is it? Alright, hold on. We got to think this through. And now I'm bound and determined to do it. So what we need to do is we need to just exactly match this frame here and cover it with white. Come on. Alright, not bad. Adjust that point. And then when we back out, we've kind of gotten rid of that frame. Although we need to adjust this point down here. Getting tricksy with it. We need to pull this guy out a little bit. I don't want it out too much because when I paint in like gray inside that flame, you know, I want it to. If I made that whole thing white, it would block out white above it because it's under the layer. So anyway, all right. So that's good because that thing's going to be filled in with gray of the flames. All right, so let's save that real quick. And then we're going to hop over to the gray layer and make it all happen. Alright, I'm going to select a nice gray. Alright, and let's do our thing. So, we know that her, oh yeah, we need to make that not the 1 point brush. We're going up to 7 points for the shading. And her bow is always shaded in. And the reason that I copied and pasted JPuff before I added this shading is so that the details of like her face and stuff will be slightly different. So her outline is going to be the same from the first panel to the second panel, but this part will be different. Like her facial expression will be nuts. Alright, fill in the little loops and the bow. So happy that the loops didn't fill up on us like they usually do. Get the line here. Sloppy. Let's do that over. Yeah, that's better. All right. It's kind of fun trying to express this in, you know, only 2 or 3 colors. Really, realistically, otherwise you guys would just be watching me go, what? Does this work? No, that's not a good one. Is it? No, that's not a good one. Alright, but I think the beauty of us having put that white on there, yeah, see, is I can just go to the right, to the edge of the panel, with this and not have to worry about trying to make it square. So this is going to work out okay. Alright. I wish that little nub wasn't there, so let's see if we can clean that off without screwing up the curve too much. Yeah, not bad. So, you guys play No Man's Sky at all? That's the last video game I picked up. Mainly because it was 50% off on Steam. And I'd heard like super bad things when they first started up. How it had promised a lot of really cool stuff, but then they rushed the release and it was not all that hot. Yeah, I didn't pre-order it or anything like that, so I didn't have a dog in that fight. But then I heard that they went back to the drawing board and improved a bunch of stuff, and it was actually pretty cool. So I checked it out since it was on sale, and I'm having fun with it. I've got some questions, but I don't know if you guys play it or not, or if you even have time to play video games. Let's see here. I think we'll just fill this all in gray. Now basically, No Man's Sky is a space exploration game. Like you find yourself on this planet and you have to get to your spaceship and then harvest materials. Harvest some materials to fuel your ship and your life support systems and things like that, and then you fly around trying to. You're just basically exploring, but also, what the deuce is happening? No, wrong brush. That's why. Also, come on. Also, like fighting some aliens or trading with other aliens and whatnot. But mostly, it's like you're mining for materials to keep your thing going. And there's these sentinel robots that come if they're like across the whole universe, and they're just like the peacekeepers kind of. They fly around like little iBots from Fallout, and they'll come over if they see you mining, and there's like two ways to mine. You got like this little precise laser gun, takes a little while, but like if you see a rock, you're like, oh, I know that rock has ferrous material inside of it, and I need some for my for my ship or whatever. I'm gonna and just like this little laser gun, and it blows up the little rock, and you get the collect the elements that fly out of it. But that'll piss off the little robot, and he'll come and attack you if he sees you doing it too much, which is really annoying because the whole point of the game is to harvest materials, and you got this robot always trying to attack you if you're just trying to do that. But then you can get an add-on to your ray gun that is like a strip mining water hose of a laser. It's not like it's like a and it just like cuts out all huge swaths of dirt and anything you point it at, and collects, like if you get a vein of copper, and it's like strip mining with a fire hose, and it just sucks up all the resources, and the dude will fly by and look at you and go, oh, okay, you're fine. And it doesn't make any fucking sense at all. Like, oh, I'm just, harvesting this one rock or this one plant. Oh, you're gonna get attacked. But, oh no, I got this, I'm just completely destroying the landscape. Oh, that's fine. Don't worry about that. So that does make a lot of sense. It doesn't, yeah. Anyway, I'm done. I know there's Nexus mods that you can probably add to it to remove those guys, but I think that later on they factor into the story of the game, so I don't want to do that. Alright, so let's see how her flame is looking. That's not bad. Alright, cool. And I want to do her bottom line here. Okay, cool. Let's save that. And then we'll draw in the word balloons. I think everybody's in a pretty good shot, a pretty good space. Switch the paint to black, and we'll draw in. Woo. We're going to make that a 3-point brush, not a 7-point brush. All right, let's try that again. All right, and we know that I'll come back around and work on the spacing and all these, the centering them in the boxes and stuff. All right, so then let's do just that. Zoom out to see what we're working with. Cool. All right, and the last thing that we have on our docket here is doing the what's that, Brad? Because I'm complaining about video games? Our mutual friend Josh spends a lot of time playing video games and just talking about them. It's basically his entire life. Alright, so, hold on. You're screwing it up, Jay. We almost did that on the balloon layer. We need to hop down here to the halftone layer. Alright. And we're going to find a nice halftone to go in behind her. And since she's made of nothing, we're going to have to... Ooh, Jesus Christ. We're going to... Alright. We're going to have to fill her in. Man, I need to trim my mustache. This is annoying. Alright. And I can see... Like, okay, now I'm going to... This is a perfect example. So the shape that I just drew in the back is the rich black. And you can see how the outline, like you can still see her outline. That is the flat black, the pure black. I don't know why it does that. So I'm going to hop over here to the ink layer, unlock that real quick. Select the same fill color. And then use my eyedropper tool and pull up that rich black, right? And then now, see? I don't know why it always does two different blacks. Maybe it's just because I never click on the same one. It's probably operator error. When in doubt, it's operator error. And you can see that actually the frame, I'm not sure, maybe you can't see it, but the frame overlay is actually in that flat black too, not in the rich black. But I'm not so worried about that because it's just a frame. Okay, I think that one's okay. And then we'll use that for these others too. There you go. I'm just throwing those guys in arbitrarily. I think this one at the bottom needs to be curved. Okay. Alright, now we need to, the very last step is just draw the pen tool and white fill. Just draw in the white shape so that it blocks the shape of her body out of the halftone. I'm just saying, Brad, why would they complain about a precise little laser gun, but then when you're completely deforesting the planet, they're like, oh, that's fine. I'm not going to attack you. I'm cool. My other complaint is that the dialogue is always the same, and it's in an alien language, and you're slowly learning the alien language one word at a time. If you can find like a wisdom stone, it teaches you a single word, and but it's like every time you go to the trader, it's like, oh, da da da, I see a guy. Clack, 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 clack. He seems to be clicking his beak at me. Clack, 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 clack. You know, it should be where you can just hop to, like in Fallout 4, where you can just skip the merchant's dialogue options because you go to them all the time. That's how this is. These are merchants. You should be able just to skip it and go, all right, yeah, I'm just here to buy some blueprints. Leave me alone. I'm done now. Done bitching. Alright, so we're just knocking this guy out of the background. I'm going to go ahead and do the, even though only the bottom half is covered, I'm just going to do the whole balloon. Just in case. Takes an extra 20 seconds. Alright, let's save it, and we'll back out and see what the fruit of our labors shows for today. Alright, I think that we need to hop over here to the shading layer and put some gray into our good friend Spider-Man. Totally forgot to give him a gray little body. So let's find that gray. Ooh. Alright, let's deselect. And then we'll find that gray. I think it was this one. And we will paint him in. I think his head was white, so I'm going to leave that white. I should have done my research on my own art before I started here this morning, but I was running a little bit late. And then the computer was being slow too. It didn't crash or anything, it was just being real slow to start. Alright, I think that's enough to show that it's Spider-Man. And I want to, as long as we're here, switch this over back over to white and go have this say foosh. That's a fun flamethrower noise. There. As long as we got the room right there, we might as well do it, right? Fix that little spot there. And then I'm going to hop up to layer 8, which is that one that's blocking out everything, and just adjust this guy. Yeah, I think that's fine. It's minuscule anyway. So we'll save it, and I think we're done. Let me just read through it again here. I'm here to publicly express my dismay over that previous strip. It was vile, disgusting, and downright triggering. Here, here, it's a culture, not a costume. I know, right? It's like he doesn't even think. Ah! I am looking at this, and I want the ah to be bigger. So let's see if I can do that. I mean, of course I can do it, but let's see how. Let's see if I can add a stroke to it, make it a little bit bolder. Yeah. And then I'm going to expand that so that it all just becomes part of the same shape. And then group that so I don't have to select each one anymore. Yeah, that's all right. I'm just going to delete this one that's over the nozzle. There you go. You know what? I'm going to delete these ones too. This is the boring part, kids. Sorry, just seeing me futz around. There. All right. Kind of the original layout, but bolder. All right, cool. Let's save it, and we're good. So thanks for tuning in again on this Wednesday morning. Hope you guys have a good day. I've got a good day ahead. I'm gonna apply for some jobs and draw an owl bear and write some copy for our website. So that's pretty exciting. Exciting times in the troll hole. So I'll catch you guys on Monday. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks as always for supporting my Patreon.